Joining me now is a guy who's been to Afghanistan as much as any lawmaker in the country, Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, that is the state of Afghanistan. It turns out the BBC report, according to the World Bank, the nation is considered aid dependent, and it might be the worst, if not one of the worst, if not the worst humanitarian disasters right now in the world. What do we do?
Right. Well, number one, if you're looking for somebody to blame, Joe Biden needs to look in the mirror. What do? We try to save the children from being starved to death without empowering the Taliban. So there's a couple things I want you to know. How did we get here? Joe Biden's the most incompetent president in my lifetime. He had a plan that did not work. He turned down sound military advice. They don't know if there's 350 Americans left behind or 700. We do know there are thousands of Afghans who fought along our side that have been left behind. But here's what we also know, that Afghanistan is in free fall. Al-Qaeda is flourishing, ISIS is getting stronger, and the Taliban told the State Department, our State Department, they would not help us when it comes to trying to control Al-Qaeda, who is sworn to kill us all if they could. So I consider that action by the Taliban, refusing to help us when it comes to policing Al-Qaeda, a declaration of war. It's tantamount declaring war on the United States. If you're not willing to help us deal with our Al-Qaeda problem, the world's Al-Qaeda problem, then that's a hostile act to me under the law of war. So Afghanistan is the biggest national security threat in the near term. It's the biggest humanitarian disaster on the planet in immediate terms, and over time it only gets worse.
Yeah, Darrell Issa said today they give you this false choice. They'll go up to an American and say, hey, you can leave, but you got to leave your family behind. We'll come get them later. When you say no, you become somebody who doesn't want to leave Afghanistan. That's why there's 300 plus that he helped get out personally over in California with Democrat help. I want to move on to talk about two things that happened in Virginia. Stacey Abrams showed up, and McAuliffe was there, and he basically said Stacey Abrams really won the election in Georgia. I thought you weren't supposed to dispute elections. And President Obama showed up because McAuliffe's on a respirator politically, and he said, don't fall for these phony, trumped-up culture wars. Is what's happening with CRT culture wars?
Number one, it's not a culture war. It's declaring war on the United States history, who we are as a people, trying to blame people that had nothing to do with events that occurred in history because of their race. That's offensive to me. And what Terry McAuliffe said is that Stacey Abrams is really the legitimate governor of Georgia because she was cheated because the Georgia Republicans disenfranchised people from voting. And Obama said that Republicans are intentionally trying to keep black people from voting. Now, all I can say, that's Obama BS. What we're trying to do is keep voting integrity in place. I want everybody to vote, but I don't want anybody to cheat, and mail-in voting is ripe for fraud. So have you heard anything about this in the mainstream media where President Obama likely terrorist attack originating from Afghanistan in the near future, we're in a real bind.
Senator Lindsey Graham, thanks so much. Always great to see you.
Thank you.